Live, uncut, unedited. Coming on late tonight. Be on late. Probably be on for probably half an hour or so. We won't be too late tonight because no school tomorrow, work tomorrow. I appreciate you guys coming on in and we just want to have a little discussion about crime. And it's a lot going on amongst our people out here, and we need to know what's going on. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. It's definitely live, uncut, unedited. It's a late night tonight, grown folks night. Grown folks. Grown folks tonight. I tell you the truth, people. This is real. This definitely is real. I see you, James Poole. What's going on, bro? I tell you, it's real out here. It's real. People, just as much as you ready to kill, be ready to die. It all depends on who gets to their weapon first and discharge their weapon first. And most of the time, that be the baddest man or the baddest woman. All right, I want to give a shout out to my YouTube family. I see you. I see you. James Poole, again, I see you. I appreciate you, man. Live, uncut, unedited, Chicago Against Violence in the house. Michelle Rucker, what's going on? Is that Miss Emma Harris? I see you. I see you. I see you. Boss Baby Pete. What's up, Boss Baby? I see you. Kelly L. Green. I see you. I see you. Yes. Yes. Appreciate it. Gilda. Gilda. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? It's live, uncut, unedited, people. This is real. This is real, people. This conversation is real, and it's about to get even realer when we talk. So make sure you guys pay attention. I'm gonna try not to keep you guys all night because I got to get up. I got to make some runs. I got to go to the courthouse in the morning. Yeah. All right. That's right, Michelle Rucker. I see you. Kathy, what's going on, Kathy? I see you, Miss Kathy Thomas. All right, I see you. I see you. I got a call already calling in. Money Man Johnson. Stop buying guns and leaving them around kids. Watch your kids and say, let me put that up. We need to put that up on the screen. That's real important. Stop buying guns and leaving them around your kids. Okay. Watch your kids, stay on top of them, and drop them off, pick them up, and stop being friends with your kids. And it starts at home before it's out, hits outside. I agree. Hey, caller, where you calling from?
I'm calling out of Chicago. I just called to listen in
Oh,
and
okay.
maybe have a few words because Facebook is delaying. The comment section on my phone is black and I can't hear you. So
Oh,
I don't know if that's about it happened earlier today too.
wow.
So I'm just calling to listen in while I'm
Oh,
driving.
okay. All right. Just put your phone on mute so we won't hear that rain. That's all. We'll still be able to hear you.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Thank you. I got too much. I got too much love in heart to want to hurt anyone. I'd rather allow God to fight my battles. Well, you go ahead then. I'm gonna help God. I tell you, I'm gonna help him. I tell you, this is live. All right, to my YouTube family, I appreciate you for tuning in. This is definitely live, uncut, unedited. Make sure you share the video. Also, my YouTube family, you can follow me on social media on Facebook, Martin G. Johnson. Martin, Martin G. Johnson, common spelling. And also, Facebook, you can follow me on YouTube. Just in case I block you on Facebook, you're always welcome to go to YouTube. Maybe you'll get a second chance. And I'm on YouTube as Martin G. Johnson as well. All righty. All right, Nathan, good evening, brother. I see you, I see you, I see you. And the question is today, how can we avoid crime? Now, don't get me wrong. I don't think no politician out here that can stop crime. And I don't believe if I was in office, I would be able to stop crime. No one can stop crime. Now, what we can do, we could put policy in place and different rules and regulations, which is policy, and to reduce crime. Kelly Green, what's going on, Kelly? I see you. I see you. I see you. I see you. Louis Ramsey, I see you. All right. Hey, caller, you got to turn down your Facebook, bro. You got to turn it down, oh, sister. Turn it all the way down. Turn it off. You better hear. You still can watch it, but turn the volume all the way down. All right. Because we're getting feedback here. Well, put your phone on mute until I'm ready to call you. All right. Money Man Johnson. I tell you, he put a good thing up there. All right. Starks. All right. I see you. What's that? IBCU. What is IB Cup Nut? I don't know what that say, but hey. All right. Put your comment up like that. Do that. Latoya Willis, what's going on? Okay, new caller. Area code 313. Where you calling from? New caller?
I'm calling from Detroit, Michigan.
Detroit new in caller. The house. All right, Detroit, come and talk to us. What's on your heart today? Talk to us. Tell me something.
What's on my heart?
I'll be cutting
what's
up.
On my heart. People, we have to get it. We have to get it together. We're walking around on this land as uncivilized people of the land. We're getting these gun permits, not knowing the gun law, and not understanding that anytime you have to go get a permit, that means you're not ready you're not responsible. Because whenever you're carrying artillery around, you have to know the law. Because if these so-called governmental officials want to bring you into those de facto venues and charge you, you have to know how to counter those folks. And hiring or retaining an attorney, that's the wrong thing to do because they don't represent people's rights. They represent the corporation. So all people have to understand rights before they go out and try to get a gun and then use it. And in some cases, when you're even protecting yourself or call yourself protecting yourself, they can still charge.
So what you're saying is because
you have to wake up first.
Okay, what you're saying is that because some of us got a license to carry, we still need to know and learn the rules, how you can use and when you can use a weapon. Is that what you're saying? If I'm getting that right, caller?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. And that's actually yes. Because the Second Amendment gives you the right to keep and bear arms. So why are you going to get permission for another man? Put your weapon up under his jurisdiction, and then when he want to take it from you, then you don't know how to retrieve it back. So the Constitution is our political protection.
Okay.
You don't fall under the jurisdiction of the United States and go get something, and then you end up being a statistic up in that prison camp because you don't know law. You know, a man or woman that knows law, they're not going to get a permit. Like me, I have my arm in my house, and ain't nobody taking it. It's not registered. It belongs to me.
Okay.
And if somebody try to trespass against me, then I'm gonna have to use it. Okay. And then I know how to protect myself if those commercial mercenaries think that they're going to bring me up in a venue and in front of one of those roads and they think they're going to violate and take my right and my weapon. That's not going to happen. So our people got to learn civics. And when we learn the order of government and it starts with ourselves, then we can go out and purchase these weapons and don't register them. Leave them in your home. You know? Sometimes if you have to carry it, but you have to be responsible. So yeah, we're a bunch of uncivilized folks walking around here destroying each other, and then want to walk around when the oppressors put their foot up our behind. We want to get in the street and disturb the peace, marching and making a lot of noise. Well, we don't even respect ourselves. So I'm gonna take it back. It's going back to the mothers. It goes back to the household. I'm blaming everything on the mother.
Why not the father?
I'm a woman.
Too. I mean, both parents.
The mother gives birth.
Okay.
Because I'm gonna tell you why. Because we carried a child in our womb. You understand me? And that child, we are responsible. No matter what, society looks at the mother. So until that child is able to stand up and be responsible and be held accountable for themselves, that mother is going to be responsible for every action that child makes, negative or positive.
So you
the
saying
mother's responsibility is to explain.
So you saying this is what I'm
The mother's
getting.
responsibility.
I'm getting what you saying is that if the mother can take credit for your child being the MVP on the basketball team or tumbling team or tennis or soccer or some type of sport or spelling bee, if she can take credit for the good of her children, she also have to take credit for the bad as well. Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
Go ahead, my dear sister. I just want to be clear.
And by no means the father is not exempt, but in terms of the child knowing, see, let me explain something. These men walking around who are exposing their buttocks as a fashion statement, that's representation of his mother. Because if that mother stopped him and put her foot down and really put her foot down, no matter how old he was, he would never walk around like that. So your mother's the reason why you can drug through the street and you have no respect from other nations. See, the mother, we have to introduce them to government, which is civics. When you teach your child that they are the legislator, executive, and judicial, and no other man or woman is, and you teach them that in the house, they know how to conduct themselves when they get out into society. So they won't become a victim of police brutality. Or they don't have to get in the streets and participate in marches trying to prove to another nation that they're worthy.
Let me ask you a question. There's two questions I got to ask you. Are you a Moorish American? Are you sovereign? That's what it sounds like.
Well, let me explain. The only thing is sovereign is the land.
Okay.
The land is only sovereign. We are sovereignties.
Okay.
Because we are heirs of the land.
Okay.
Now, my nationality is Moorish.
Okay.
Because we all have a bloodline. We all have a bloodline. If you don't identify, and that's another thing with mothers, we have to identify and stand in honor of our forefathers and mothers. We are Moorish Americans. We are not black folks.
Okay.
And see, that's another reason why we're being disrespected, because any man or woman who does not respect their flag, their government, and they feel no other nation is going to respect them. So we were given the dame de guerre, which is a political classification, which is black, which means duh. In politics, it means civil mortus, means you're dead in law. You don't exist.
Oh, well, let me ask you another question. I want to ask you another question. I see you was mentioned about going to march and things like that. What do you have against marching? You don't think it's not effective? Just want to ask you. Let me hear your opinion.
Civilized people, yeah. Civilized people don't march.
Okay.
Let me explain something.
Let me hear it.
These black leaders, I'm gonna call them sellouts. They're called in law. They're called COINTEL operators, but they're sellouts. Any man or woman that wants to lead a nation, they're going to identify them by their bloodline, by their political status. They're going to identify them where they are recognized internationally. Nobody respects a black man, woman, or child. That's why black folks are in the streets, marching, disrespecting themselves. Civilized people sit down and they look their counterparts in the eye and they counter them. So if you and I have a disagreement on any subject, I'm going to bring ancient literature to support anything I stand on. I'm not going to argue with you. We're going to sit down and we're going to dispute. That's what civilized people do.
Hmm.
You call your opponents to the table and you sit down and you settle the dispute like men and women. You don't get out in the street because, listen, think about it. When black folks are out in the street, who's out there? Nobody but the police waiting to arrest one of their uncivilized behind.
Hmm. Well, let me just say this.
None of the politicians are out there.
I want to say this. A lot of things that we are enjoying, those of us that call ourselves black, it's because of we had to fight, protest, and still right now today we have to do it. We'll give you an example. Think about when we couldn't ride in the front of the bus. We protested. Now we're able to do that. Think about when cops didn't have body cameras. A lot of cities, states, they protested and they got the body cameras through protesting. We talk about uncivilized people that you call them. We got what is what you call affirmative action. These uncivilized people that have been marching and protesting the street that you call them. But we have gotten some things out of protesting and marching. Even right now, I don't know how familiar you are with social media. We see a lot of videos floating around where white people wrongly kill blacks, melanated people, African descent people. And we have to protest. We have to petition the government to arrest them. But if we be quiet and don't say nothing, it's like water under the bridge, if I may use that term. So I wouldn't be too quick to call these uncivilized people, call them uncivilized, but some of them are getting things done, and the ones that are civilized, what is just benefiting a little small group? Remember, a lot of us have a success in this country individually. We're educated, we have homes, we have material things, and we live in that life, as we call it, the American dream. But what about the people the masses of people that look like us? And I'm gonna say this too. Who introduced drugs to the people that look like me and you? Who introduced this? Who brought these weapons in these poor urban communities, putting them in alleys and putting them in garbage can areas? Who is doing these things? And if we don't fight the best we know how, we can't out-weapon white people. We speaking their language. We're wearing their clothes. We don't control the water, nor do we control the land, nor electricity, nor the police, nor the military. We don't control nothing. We're merely almost like a guest. That's just like me coming into your home. And you say, well, Martin, you can sleep on the couch. Now you're tired of me sleeping on the couch. Say, hey, Martin, I need you to go down in the basement. Now I got to go down in the basement. Now you're tired of me sleeping in the basement. Say, hey, Martin, you got to go in the garage, sleep in the garage. It's your house. You tell me where to go and what to do. And if I don't like it, guess what? I have to leave the premises. And it's the same way we're here in America. A lot of things we're going to like. What are we going to do about it? Are we just going to sit and talk about how knowledgeable we are? Or are we going to do something? Fight the best way that we know how and with the weapon that we have. That's all I'm saying. So sister, to me, we got to be careful when we call people that's trying uncivilized. Got to be careful because some of these uncivilized people, they getting things done. And you remember, we're working in a system that's not ours. Their face is on the money. They tell us what the money is worth and the value of it.
Let me stop you.
Go ahead.
Okay, let me
Go ahead.
Let me tell you, you turn that $1 bill over. That bill they stole from us, which is our silver and gold. That pyramid represents the Moroccan Empire. the third out of all CNI. On the right-hand side is the organic Republic United States flag, with the 13 circular stars. That belongs to the Moors. See, you got to know where to find the literature to counter. Let me explain something to you. The United States has been dissolved by the Emergency Banking Act on March the 9th, 1933. That's 48 Statute 1, Public Law 89-719, declared by President Roosevelt, being bankrupt and insolvent. That's House Joint Resolution 192, 73rd Congress, June 5th, 1933. The joint resolution suspended the gold standard and abrogated the gold clause, which dissolved the sovereign authority of the United States. All United States governmental offices, officials, departments are operating in a de facto status, and it is evident that the United States federal government exists today in name only. And the receivers of the United States bankruptcies are the international bankers via the world nations, the World Bank, and the International Monetary Fund. So the United States does not exist. It's a private foreign commercial corporation. It's just like Sears. It's just like A&P or any big department store that has bankrupt. Public Law 856-857, August 1st, 1956. This land is Morocco. The continent is America. The Constitution and the 1836 Treaty of Peace and Friendship is a compound agreement which allows the United States to do commerce here in Morocco. Right now, Morocco is under occupation on its own land.
Mm-hmm.
The cherry tree that was knocked down, that was the Moroccan flag they overthrown.
Okay. Well, let me ask you a question.
You gotta know what to enforce. You have to know what to enforce.
That's correct.
There's no such thing as judges. There's no such. We're court. This is our land. Article 1, Section 10 of the Constitution clearly states that the only thing that can settle debt is a silver and gold coin. Not a Federal Reserve note.
But like you said it's our land, but we're not running it. That's the thing. Now I hear everything you're saying.
Even though you own the land, at least you know the game.
Mm-hmm.
Be in the game and know the game, and rather than being in the game and don't know it's a game. Because either way it goes, damn if you do, excuse my French, damn if you do, damn if you don't. It's better to know.
Yeah, it's better to know than not to know. I tell you that much. I agree with you 100% on that. You know, but when are we going to take our rightful place then? I mean, right now, I'm looking at the people that look like me at the bottom of everything. Everything. And we go ahead, sister.
Let me tell you, I speak to a lot of those Arabs and Chaldeans that be in the neighborhoods that run their business. And they know that I know. They know who we are. And I told them, I said, the only reason y'all are able to operate in our neighborhoods is because the people sleep. I said, but the moment they wake up, y'all got to pack up and go. They know who we are. They don't pay no taxes. They enforce the Constitution. You don't pay taxes. We're not supposed to pay bills. It's a debt note. You cannot pay a debt using a debt. You're supposed to discharge everything Get familiar with 1099As, 1040Vs, 1099s. Claim your credits back with the IRS because that birth certificate is an insurance bond. It's an insurance bond, it's a birth certificate, and a death certificate. It's a trading instrument. It's a public transmitting utility. It's a lot of things. You got to make it work for you. They stole your silver and gold. At least you know how to manipulate that instrument.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So it's you have to, like they say, put it in the books we don't read. And that's true. I used to think it was bold when I was younger. I used to be like, that's so bold what they say about us. But I found out as an adult woman, it is very true. We don't read. I went in the library and they tried to tell me, put on a mask. I said, hold on, y'all been here from sunup to sundown around books in front of computers. Some of y'all got smartphones and you mean to tell me you can't sign the Constitution? You violating your own right and think I'm going to let you violate mine?
Well, let me ask you a question.
Y'all too old for this.
Let me ask you a question, sister. Are you governed by the Constitution? Now, I'm confused. Let me know, explain that to me.
Yes, I'm governed by the Constitution because my forefathers and mothers drafted that in order for me to be able to protect my estate. So that Constitution keeps those people who y'all think are government in check. That's a check and balance. Mm-hmm. So everybody got a rule to follow. No man or woman is above the law. So they want us to follow them, but they're guests in our house. Hold on. You give them back the Constitution. See, the Constitution is just like a rental or lease agreement to a tenant. You have to obey and follow these rules in order to be able to take advantage of these benefits.
Okay.
So no man should be able to, you should never let another man stand next to you and tell you what you should do as a man. Once you became a man, you stand in your Constitution and your right and your square. You don't vote for no other man. You the president. You the legislator, executive, judicial. You have to enforce that. You have a government that backs you up. The Moroccan flag, it is the all-red flag, the 5-point star. That belongs to us. That flag we see, that's a knockoff, a counterfeit of our Ghana flag that's on the back of the $1 bill. That represents amity and maritime. They represent commerce. If that Moroccan flag and that continental flag is not flying with that commerce flag, if it's flying along like it is, it's in fraud. It's in contempt of courts.
Okay.
And only the people can enforce it.
Well, let me ask you a question.
It's not a black and white thing.
Let me ask you a question. Now, all this information that you put out over the air, I've heard it before. I don't want to ask you a personal question. Tell me, how is this benefiting you now?
Well, I don't pay taxes. I don't pay bills. I claim estates on the land. I enjoy my life. So I can go out on the land and find any house that I want. And I go and I find it and I can claim it. It's called an abandoned estate. The Moors have accepted the brand black, and they're not accepting their estate. So guess what happens? These people who are who know the Constitution, who are not Moors, they have a right because the Constitution protects them as well. They claim in the estate. And they have a right, and I'm not upset with them because we're family and blood. That 5-point star represents love, freedom, peace, justice, and truth. So anybody that stands on those principles and stand and hold the Constitution and treaties, we're brothers and sisters, we're family.
Now, I want to ask you another personal question.
Because sometimes you got to blame your...
I want to ask you another personal question. So I'm hearing that you say you don't pay bills. Do you pay ComEd? Electric bill, or I don't know what your electric company is. I mean, here in Illinois.
No, it's called in Detroit. It's called Detroit DTE. No, I don't pay them. See, you're not supposed to pay them. If you pay attention to your DTE bill or your utility bill, at the bottom it is a coupon, and it has where you're supposed to tear off if you mail it in. That's called a remittance coupon. You're supposed to, first of all, you're supposed to sending in. You have to send in some forms to the IRS so you can put them on notice that you're aware of this estate that they set up at birth, and you're now taking control of it. So you submit that form in. Once you submit that form in, when you get your utility bill, you cut the bottom of that off and you write a couple things on there, and you attach it to a payment coupon. You send your 1096 and your 1099A over to IRS. You send that off in the mail, and you keep your receipts. You send it certified, and you're fine. That's law. When you order those forms from the IRS, or if you print them offline, they tell you in the menu your estate has been compensated.
Well,
You've abandoned it.
Well, let me ask you a question.
They're giving you the instructions. Claim it.
Now, you said IRS. Now, you have to send something to IRS, and why would you just have to send something to IRS? Why? I mean, is that America?
They're the ones that stole it.
Okay, you got to let them.
International bankers who accept it.
Okay, you got to let them know what's going on.
They're the international bankers.
Okay.
Right, because they're the ones who have to release it. They're the ones who have to release it.
And if they don't release it, then what?
Oh, they have to release it. You keep enforcing. They're not gonna. You enforce it. They have to release it. They can't keep it.
Now
it's called an abandonment. They're claiming you're abandoned. They can't say you stole it, so they say you're abandoned.
Oh, okay.
You are an abandoned estate.
But
and everything you own, your assets, belongs to them.
But even though, with all this valuable information that you just said over the internet, over social media, and I'm thinking in my mind, you still checking in with the government. You still checking in.
But I know I know the rules. You understand me? Let me explain something.
Okay.
I don't register my vehicles. You understand me?
Mm-hmm.
I don't register nothing. I don't have no driver's license. Let me explain something to you. I don't belong to the state. Once I know the game, why I'm going to participate as a sheep? You understand me? You come up out of there. When you know better, you do better.
Mm-hmm.
So when you actually see this information, and so when you're challenged on it, and you have to stand in square, and you got to exercise everything you've been studying, you don't have to prove to nobody that you know, but they know. They know. So
you got to prove to IRS now, don't you? You got to send them a form.
No, the IRS pay me. What you talking about?
Mm-hmm.
You
just told me that hold on. You just told me that you rip off some off the bottom of the light bill and you send it to IRS. I mean, that's what you just told me now. I'm just going by what you told me now. I'm trying to get a clarification here as to what's going on, because I'm that's all I'm doing. I'm not trying to trip you up in your words or anything like that. I'm just trying to get a clarification.
No,
okay.
No. Let me make it clear so I won't confuse anyone who's listening.
Okay.
You tear off the bottom of your utility coupon, because it's called it's a coupon. You tear that off and you write your little laws on them, and you put it in the mail. And then you get that 1096, which is a cover sheet. You get that 1099A, and you send it in to the IRS. At 1111 Constitution Avenue, Northwest, Washington, D.C., 20224.
Okay. So you telling me that you don't pay no bills, no light, no rent?
You're not supposed to.
Oh, okay.
That's
what about groceries?
That's energy.
Can you walk in the grocery store? What about groceries?
Yeah, you know you gotta go on the grocery store fast, you know.
I had to
Because
throw
you
that
gotta go
at
to
you.
the grocery store.
I had to throw that one at you. Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah, you
okay.
know.
What about buying and purchasing a new car or something like that? Do you pay taxes on a car, new car? You already said you don't pay no registration.
No,
Oh, okay.
you don't supposed to. You better not. No, 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 no. You know, no. You go to the dealership. You go to the window. You know how they got the sticker on the window?
Mm-hmm.
That's the manufacturer sticker. That's the actual title. So what you do, you get that information off that car, the VIN number. You get all the information. Take a picture of it because it's so much. You go home, you blow it up. You get a 1099A. And you write everything down on that 1099A. Then you get a 1099 OID. You write everything about that vehicle on that 1099. Then you get a payment coupon, a 1040Z. You fill it out and you send it to the IRS and you wait on that check to come within 3 days from when they receive it.
Okay. Now, since what
they tell you in the manual.
What you drinking,
this
sister?
Is your credit.
I hear you. I hear water back in the
cold
background.
water.
Oh, okay, okay. I hear something in the background because
Yeah.
I can pick up anything when you. I'm sorry, but let me ask you another question. Now, so you driving your vehicle, you operating your vehicle or car, vehicle, whatever you got to watch the words, and so you have no type of tags on them, right?
Right, none.
Okay, so when the officer pull you,
write everything off.
Okay, so when the officers pull you over, what is some of the discussions going on?
Oh, let me tell you, I have no problem.
No, I just want to know. Go ahead.
I like to educate them, and I love educating them. So when they pulled me over, I don't get it the problem overall. I believe they got me in the system as coded. I really do. So when they did pull me over, I used to love educating them, and they used to be like, "Where's your ID?" I used to be like, "They be like, your tags expired." I said, "Well, let me explain something to you. I don't put none of my property in another man's possession for him to claim it as his." He said, "What you mean?" I said, "Well, when you put your property under the state of Michigan, they own it." I said, "You have to put everything in a trust." I said, "And you record it on record. You take yourself out of the public and put you in your private, yourself in a private." So I told them, they asked for ID. I said, "Let me tell you, you don't want me." I said, "Because you asked me for a document, I'm talking to you." I said, "You want that artificial person." I said, "Let me show you how y'all commit fraud." I said, "You're actually a commercial mercenary. You're doing business with an artificial person that don't exist, but it has all of my activities. It's actually called a straw man." And I pulled out the license at the time when I had it, and I showed them. I said, "Everything in all caps, it belongs to the state. That's not me." I said, "So you finna write a bill of attainder against an artificial person that don't exist, and all I'm gonna do is put an affidavit into the court. So really, you wasting my time." I said, "Because they don't throw it out, and they never write it. You know."
So you telling me
they never write it? And
you telling me you going to the man's court? You said we our own court, didn't you tell us that? Why would you go to court?
I don't go to court. No, I was telling him that's
okay.
No, I was explaining to him that if he write me a ticket, that's what's going to happen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm just.
But sometimes in some situations, people have to go to court because let me tell you something. There's some belligerent, disrespectful attorneys in those roles. They're very disrespectful, and they will charge people with contempt, put warrants out for their captivity. You know, ain't nobody got time for that. So some people got to show up in them de facto reviews. So if you gotta go, put your game on and know that there ain't nobody. That's a man or a woman just like you. Don't let no title or no organization or brotherhood or sisterhood they belong to, because all of them Masons and Eastern Stars. Don't let none of them intimidate you. Stand the ground.
So let me ask you a question. Do you work?
They're organized.
Do you work, sister?
No, I don't work.
So how you maintain?
No, I got credits with the IRS. They paid me.
What they paying you for?
Come on.
What the IRS paying you for?
Look, they take care of everything that comes through here, those utilities, everything. And then I got my under the table thing I do.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Have you ever taught someone this knowledge that you have?
Actually, I've tried to get into a shelter in my community, but there was some gatekeepers. Those women were not interested. They were so ignorant. The directors and the administrations, they were so. I was just trying. I was like, listen, I can get these young ladies and put them in positions so they don't have to wait on no program to come out and move them. It's all these abandoned estates. They can get up in these houses and use these coupons to get the credits and get these big houses together. Get these abandoned houses together. They ain't got to wait on no program.
Let me ask you a question.
So I speak to people.
Let me ask you a question too. Are there like-minded people such as yourself out here?
Yeah, they are. They are.
Okay.
Far few and in between, but they are.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. People are scared. They don't have the courage. People don't have the courage. They don't have the courage. They bad amongst their peers and in their community, but when it's time to take care of business, put their foot down. They're afraid to take care of business.
Okay.
And yeah. And it's
so let me ask you a question.
You know?
What laws are you governed by that you do follow?
Same supreme law of the land.
Oh, what law? I mean, is it the Constitution, law of the land, or what is it? I'm just trying to. I'm just trying to, ask questions, because when you want to learn something, you ask questions.
It's common law.
Such as, give us an example.
Common law.
Give us an example. Tell us, educate the people.
It's natural. It's civilized. Just to be conducting yourself in a civil manner. You know how to behave. You know not to be disrespectful to yourself when you walk in the company of others. You know how to address people respectfully and professionally. You know how to stand up as a man or a woman. Speak well. Address others in a manner of respect. It's common sense. It's like walking down the street, just getting up, walking. Anybody got to tell you to use your legs to walk? It's common. Law is common. That stuff they got written in codes, policies, and statutes, that ain't nothing but your birthright, our natural birthright, that they converted into privileges and charge us for walking down the street and crossing the street in a 45-degree angle called a jaywalk. It's our land. If I want to cartwheel across the street, I can do that. If I want to drive in my private property without a seatbelt, I can do that. You don't care about my life, what it is. They got insurance on that. Birth certificate is worse than bond. As long as you alive, shoot, they want to make sure you safe. So we're going to charge you for existing. Put that seatbelt on. So no, that ain't law. Those are privileges.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. So you saying you don't pay bills, you don't pay taxes, you don't pay rent, mortgage, none of that, right?
Either.
I'm asking you a question now. I'm interviewing you. I'm trying to get a clarification. And you don't pay when you purchase a new car. Have you ever purchased a new car?
I have.
Okay, with this knowledge or before the knowledge? With the knowledge you have now, or before you? Okay.
No, before, let me tell you, I made the mistake. In my younger days, I didn't know this. No, I went to the dealership and was taking advantage of it to put down payment, come up with insurance money, registration, and all that nonsense. Yeah, It's good, because let me tell you something. I always say this: if you ain't got no skin in the game, you can't tell me nothing.
Okay.
You have to been through something.
Let me ask you a question. I have another question. Michael Burns, he said, ask her, did she have to give up her citizenship and claim another country?
I didn't have to give up nothing. They took it. I threw it back. I said, all you got to do is claim your nationality. I always been in Morocco. I was lost. Now I'm found. I used to identify as black, but I always knew something wasn't right. I always had a problem with authority. I always had a problem with the educational system. You know, it wasted my time. When I became an adult, I realized how I was cheated. I wasn't explained about the banking laws that run the land. They control the land. I wasn't explained that I was turned into a municipal person, a municipal person at birth by way of that birth certificate via the STQB Act of 1666. You know, I didn't know that the United States was a private corporation. I used to think it was the country. I used to think it was the flag. I always had a problem with it, though. It just never set right divinely with me.
Now,
my family always thought that I was hard-headed, wanted to do things my way, but it was just that something spiritually it wasn't connected.
So, you say you Moorish American, right? Morocco? Was that what you say?
You are too.
Hold on, sister. Hold now. Hold. Jump gate now. Do y'all got your own currency?
All of our currency was stolen. It's the silver and gold.
That ain't what I'm asking. I'm asking, do you guys have your own currency? That's what I'm asking. Yes or no? That's
the silver and gold is the currency now. You have to buy it.
Oh, okay.
Right now, circulation, everybody's doing it with the Federal Reserve.
Okay. All right. I'm not trying to. I just want to listen. I'm just want to get some answers. That's all. Because I'm thinking a certain way, and I'm trying to process it as you saying. You're saying a whole lot here. I know I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch the video and listen. So
our history was stolen. I mean, it was stolen. You know, we were.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes.
So, is it true that if I'm working, like right now I'm working, and I'm in a vehicle working, if I'm seat belted in, is that a form of slavery because I'm locked into my seat while working?
I wouldn't say that. You know, you feel comfortable. That's your choice.
No, I'm asking, is it considered slavery because while I'm working, I'm bound to my workstation like a slave?
I wouldn't say that.
Okay.
No, I wouldn't.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so when you're driving, you say you're traveling. You're not driving. Is that how you do that?
Right. Because, see, we travel by feet. People travel by horse. People travel by bike. You know, traveling is your mode of transportation. So we don't need license to walk. We don't need license to run. So you don't need license to travel. If you start a machine up, you just have to be responsible.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, we're adults. They want to understand the mind of children for their benefit.
Okay. Well, I want to see one of them checks that you be getting from RS. Yeah, I want to see one of them checks that you say you be getting.
It's called credit.
It's called credit?
They're called, it's called credit.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, do you pay taxes on food? Do you pay taxes on food?
Well, you know, when I go on they don't tax our food here in Michigan.
Okay. Well, if you're traveling on the road and you go into certain places, I know you buy gas because I know they charge taxes on gas, though. It's already figured out.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Yeah, I do.
Do you get a refund? Do you get a refund on that?
Yeah, when you keep your receipts, you get and you just send them into the IRS with your 1090, your 1096, along with your 1099 OID, and your 1099-A, and your 1040, and you get your they reimburse you in credits.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. We're dealing with Federal Reserve notes. Don't get it confused. It'll tell you on it. It's a Federal Reserve note. And if you see to the right, it says this note is for private and public debt or something like that.
Okay.
It's monopoly money.
No, that's my monopoly means it's fake. It's real, not real.
It's not real.
That's what it means.
You know, we have to, they hid the literature from us. They actually wasted our time in school, literally.
Okay.
People are running out and voting for a president or a company, not a country. They're voting for someone who don't even respect their existence because they are considered dead. They represent corporations, not people. They tell you law begins with you. That's why they say ignorance of the law excuses no one, because they know law starts with the person.
Okay.
The living man and woman.
Okay.
So yeah, that's why we're killing each other. We don't know who we are. We don't know who we are. We're doing things that we think are good by following this false government and calling other people, their own people, the Moors. It's like the Moors. Like you're Moor. Claim your nationality. That's why you're not recognized. Internationally, we're recognized as Moorish Americans. It's on the record. It's in congressional records. We are identified as Moors, not black folks.
Well, let me ask you a question, and it may be wrong, and forgive me what I'm about to say, but I have to say it. Wasn't the Moors that gave the white people power, gave them a lot of knowledge, and they put us into slavery? Was that's what I'm hearing.
Well, you know what? Let me explain something.
Okay, go ahead.
True. I can't deny it. However, what's the excuse today? Remember what Kanye West said? It's a choice. Everybody was so upset, but it's a choice. Today, you have too many people. It's digital devices. Everybody is sharing information. People are becoming aware. It's being unintelligent is not a thing.
But you have people out here that's highly intelligent, but it's not using it. So what do you call them?
Yeah.
What do you call them type people? They have great minds. They know a lot of things, but the knowledge that they have and the talents that they have, they're not using it. It's not benefiting them. So they just as good as dead too as well.
How many times do you have to move in a 5-year period? How many times have you had to move in a 5-year period?
For me?
Yes, she's talking to you.
Yes.
Oh, I've been where I'm at now for over 5 years.
Okay, and so we're going through with the bank, right? Because the bank is trying to get you out.
Say it again.
The bank that owns the property that you live in, they are trying to get you out, right?
Well,
how does that work?
Well, let me tell you, the bank can't get you out because the bank is an entity. It's under the United States. And the United States is a bankrupt entity. So banks are just a franchise of the United States. So whenever when you know banking laws and you know laws, that's how you counter. So whenever anybody try to come and get an estate, you counter them with law. It's about counter. It's about the law. Because you have to know first you're going into a commercial venue. So you got to know to separate yourself from the capacity of the living of commercial, and you're going in that venue on behalf. It's just like the attorney going in for the defendant. So people get their homes foreclosed on when in fact, when they sign the closing, they've already signed the home. So people, because they're under the jurisdiction of a false jurisdiction that only does business with corporations, you have to know the corporate rules. And you immediately detach yourself out of corporate and go into the living, and you handle that corporate person that was set up with all of your identity. You take it back. And you're the trustee. See, right now, the state is claiming trustee over these estates that these Moors are not claiming. So you got to know the difference between corporate laws and the laws of the land. Because the laws of the land are written, and they even incorporated the laws of the land into their laws. But you got to know how to read them. You got to know as little as what a dash means.
Mm-hmm. So what was the last?
In the terminology.
When was the last time you've been in court?
The last time I've been in court? December the 8th, 2022.
Okay, what was it concerning? If I may ask.
It was concerning an estate. It was concerning an estate. I went in person. And they didn't want to see me in person.
Some you
when
bought.
You're handling business, it's nothing to this. Nothing I bought.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
See, let me tell you. See, I handle business in person. I'm a businesswoman. So when whoever I'm dealing business with, we're gonna see each other in person. That's the order of law. That's the process of law. That's due process. So if you claiming something, just show your cards and game over. Otherwise, it's a standoff. We got our guns drawn. The last man stands. It's law. It's nothing to get emotional about. It's law. See, a lot of women and men can't handle business because they get their emotions involved. Keep your focus on what you in there for. I don't like people I got to do business with, but at the end of the day, if I want to get something achieved, I got to go deal with these people. It ain't about my feelings. If I want to come out with the prize, I got to go in with my business cap on.
All right, let me ask you a question. When you say these people, who are you referring to?
The so-called parties that was claiming an estate. I went suited and booted and ready to go. I had my guns drawn. I was weaponed up. They didn't want to see me. It's business. I'm not belligerent. I'm not loud. I don't do that. I handle business like a woman. I'm a one-woman army. You can't slave somebody that reads, especially someone that's not afraid to get on the podium and speak the truth. That's all I got. This is my forefathers and mothers fought for. I'm not giving it up. That's called political rape. It's disrespectful. I'm in contempt. No, I'm on square. I can't fold. A ruler don't fold. You do it break. I'm built for this. It ain't about emotion. It's about business.
Okay.
This is what schools don't teach. See, people go to law school. The bar is to steal from you. It's a difference between legal and law. You got to know both ends. Sharpen both ends of your sword and swing them both going in that venue. You got to know. They don't put nobody on the court that don't know the game. It's game. It ain't about your feelings. People don't care about feelings. We're dealing in politics. It's about banking, and you got to know the rules of banking. You got to know how to pull yourself out of the court, separate yourself. People who hire attorneys already weigh their rights. The attorney already know the game. The attorney giving the house up to the state. That's his only position. He took an oath. He got to live with that one. Them oaths are serious. It's either you do it or you die. That's do or die.
Okay.
They don't have no mercy. They ain't supposed to. So you got to know the game.
So
don't get emotional about it.
Let me ask you a question, and I'm gonna get ready to end it right here. We really didn't. I'll let you talk for about an hour or so. But anyway, the question I want to ask you: how did you acquire this information, this knowledge?
Well, I went through a personal situation with family. And it was real ugly. They took it to probate, which I objected to. And when they took it to probate, nobody wanted to listen to me. They didn't think, unfortunately, this is what I like to say. My family thinks like the typical Black folks. They think anybody that go to school or anybody that sits in a political position is intelligent. So they went up in there as militant minorities, waived every right they had. In law on the laws of the ship, it said they gave their booty up for pride. Had no honor about themselves politically. So I didn't like the way that went down. It just went down, and I was totally disrespected through the process. So when that went down, I just said, you know what? I always used to like to go sit in the courtrooms, when the courts were open and everything. So, but that personal case that I went through, that hit home.
Let me ask you another question. The home that you're living in, do you own that?
And I don't own it as of now. That's what I'm going to the venue and fighting with them about.
Oh, okay. Okay. How did you get it? Yeah. How did you acquire the home? You pay rent to get in it, or it was vacant and you walked in there and just took residence? How did that go about?
No, let me tell you what happened. See, I ain't ashamed of nothing I went through. You know what I'm saying? I used to be on a program called the Section 8.
Okay.
And when I was on Section 8, during the Section 8, I was going through that court case with my family. So the so-called judge didn't like the way that I was challenging her. So she decided to go on the record and find a way to get retaliation. First, she said that I did an assault and battery against a police officer. She went and said, all of a sudden I had a warrant out for my arrest claiming that I assaulted a police officer. Now, this was the year 2020. All of a sudden, they said in 2017, I assaulted a police officer, and it was a case unresolved, so they had to bring it back up. So I went in the venue. That ended up getting dismissed. That didn't work out. They found out I was on the Section 8 program. They said, oh, you was on the Section 8 program, and during the pandemic, they was giving away them stimulus check, and I was benefiting from them. At the time, I wasn't as intelligent in law as I am today. I was reporting all the income, cooperating with the rules of the program. I reported everything. So they tried to say that I didn't report everything. But throughout the process, I got stronger in law. I got stronger in my studies. So we went to a venue, and I was the last lady standing in law. That didn't work out. So now, all of a sudden, they said, anyway, put her out. Now, just put her out the house. Let's take her to court. Let's put her out the house. So this would be my third time them taking me, trying to get me out this house. This would be the fourth time.
Okay, well, let me ask you a question. Now, if you was on Section 8, so rightfully so, you wasn't the owner of the house, correct?
Right.
So you're going to court, or you went to court for them not to put you out. Now, if you're living in someone else's estate, or you want to call it a apartment, I'm trying to use a legal term, you know more so than I do. So actually, you're considered a squatter, right?
No. Absolutely not.
Okay.
Absolutely not.
I mean, if you don't own the property, if you don't own the property,
baby,
and it's not you. Okay, come on with it.
No, baby. I'm sorry. Let me get my language back professional. No, sir.
Okay.
I'm not a squatter. Absolutely not. A squatter are paupers, wanderers, vagabonds. Those are people not from the land. Those will be considered squatters. People who don't have a natural home are considered squatters.
Okay.
That would be a squatter. I have a right, this on record, that you can go up in any home. You have a right.
But you mean to tell me you have a right to stay in someone else's estate for free and don't give nothing?
Right. Everybody just do the correct paperwork.
I mean, what paper? Hold on, sister. Hold on.
Let me tell you.
You confusing me.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Listen. You don't know the. Wait a minute. You don't know the full. This situation is deep in what you think it is. It's deeper than what you think it is. It's deeper. I'm an easy person to deal with. It didn't even have to go to the court. I'm the type of person I don't even have to deal with it, because what I know, we could have worked this out. But see, it's the way you come at me with that black woman emotional. I can't deal with business and you all emotional, coming at me reckless, all emotional. And talking all loud and wild. Who you think gonna listen to that? That's why half of y'all ain't got no man. All that wild, reckless mouth you got. And you think you coming to me thinking I'm one of them. You thinking I got the typical mentality of stereotyping women on Section 8. I'm an intelligent woman. And I'm not gonna let nobody tell me I'm not.
Oh, okay. Well, let me say something, dear sister. Well, what's so intelligent?
You have to take it that far. I'm not that type of person.
Hold it, sister. Hold it. Man. What's so intelligent about living in someone's property or estate and you're not giving them anything for it, and they got to pay bills on it? Now, what's so intelligent about that?
They ain't got to pay bills if they know they ABCs, like they say the ABCs, the 1099, A, B, and C. That's why slavery is a choice. If you don't read, you don't know. Don't blame me because you don't read. Don't blame me because I'm benefiting. When you know better, you do better. Don't just talk it, walk it. Don't get mad at me. If you had any sense, you'll team up with me and find out the information. I'll be glad to share with you. Whether you use it or not, it's up to you. But don't come at me all reckless and wild. I ain't one of them. I ain't one of them. I'm easy to talk to.
Okay. So you expect for somebody to pay for something that you living in for free. Is that what you're telling me?
I told you them ABCs. It ain't my fault they don't read. It ain't my fault. Why I'm gonna get mad at the millionaire down the street because he got the game? Because he leveled up. Why I'm mad at him? Same analogy.
Okay.
You can't be mad at me because I know what I know.
Well, let me ask you a question. How many eviction notices you got?
I don't know it all, but
How many eviction notices? I know they're trying to evict you in that house. You staying that property.
I told you I've been to the circus. Look, I've been to the circus 4 times with the see these clowns.
Mm.
They're actors and actors. They're clowns.
Mm-hmm.
That's who they are. There's no disrespect to them, but they kill you. They practice and they acting. They'll kill you that.
Mm. Okay. Mm. All right. All right. Well,
so it ain't a matter of it's law. Don't get mad at me because I'm exercising. I feel sorry for nobody.
why not? I mean, you say you're a loving person.
Well, because let me explain something.
Let me hear it.
It's how you come at people. We never had a problem. But for you to come on behalf of somebody I know you coming on, it's deeper than what people know. They so mad at me, they started, when I was working, started garnishing a check out of nowhere. That's how deep it got. All these bills of retainers coming to my house, all this unnecessary mess, all of a sudden, See, what happens is when you stand on the venue and you challenge them, they do what's called a letter of marque and reprisal. Those are war letters they sending out. They warn at me financially. They're trying to get to me with these bills of retainers. I know the game. They playing dirty. It's like boxing. They hitting below the belt.
Mm.
Okay, can I ask a question there?
Yeah, go ahead. This is going to be our last question. We out of here. Go ahead.
Okay. Do you have a credit score?
I am accredited. I do have a score on the commercial side, yes.
Okay, and can that credit, is it high enough to go get anything within reason, or is it just null and void? Is it dormant? I mean, do you use it? Do you make payments on it, or is it not acknowledged because you were in reclaiming Moorish right now? How does that work?
No, it's not. It's not a financial thing. It's not a financial thing.
So when you say that it's not acknowledged,
say it again.
So is your credit score active, or is it just dormant?
May I ask who I'm speaking with?
What does that matter? I'm just asking a question.
Because you're asking, I'm just asking, because you're asking questions that seem like I wouldn't ask the person.
Oh, okay. Well, you're speaking freely about Moroccan, your government and all these things, and I'm listening.
It's not my government. It's all of our government. It's the Republic government.
Okay.
Article 4, Section 4.
Okay. Well, I'm listening to you, and I'm asking pertinent questions to you, the way that you choose to live. So if you're living under, if you're claiming what you're claiming, then my question about your credit, because that's how this country and most countries are in, is based off of your credit score. So if you're not doing anything with this credit, then is it dormant or is it active? I mean, I don't understand what's the why is it offensive? It's not offensive. It's just that you're coming in with misinformation. For one, this country is Morocco. The corporation America, that's what they operate. I understand that, but I'm not asking about. I didn't cut you off. No. Okay. I didn't cut you off. I'm answering your question. I may not be giving it to you the way you want, but if you listen, I'm going to answer word for word, point for point. Now, this country is Morocco. This country is Morocco. That's not how the way Morocco runs. We don't run on a numerical system where we credit people based on a score. That is the corporation of United States. That's the way they run their citizens. So you don't have a credit score. I'm not finished answering the question. Oh, okay. I am
creditor. I am the creditor. That's why I exercise my ABCs, my 1099s, A, B, and C. I read. Don't get mad at me because I don't cooperate on the corporate side. I mean, I'm saying I don't work a job, an average 9 to 5, but I don't do that. I've done that in my younger years. I've got wives. So because school did not teach me and actually indoctrinated me, I know how to utilize the Internal Revenue Service, even though they're fraudulent.
Okay, so when you go to buy a car, they don't run your credit?
No, absolutely. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. You never, once they run your credit, you're not supposed to give them a down payment. Because your credit is they're taking, listen, once you sign that contract for that vehicle, it's paid for because they're going into the SSTQB trust account that they set up. And they're going to take the credits out of there and they're going to pay the dealership. So what you're going to do is reimburse them in payment. And the reason you're doing that because you don't know the law. Not only you, there's a lot of people. But we're talking about you right now. You don't know the law. So there's a lot of people doing this. A lot of people doing it. It's just that people don't have the patience to keep talking to people because I'm quite sure they tried to share the information, but they talk themselves out. They're just going to enjoy the benefit. And when people are ready, one day they'll get it.
So they can't come and repo the car for non-payment?
No, they can't. No, once they go in and you do it the correct way, you're not going to come look for the car. This is the banking game. That's why it's called Big Bank Pay Lit Bank. They taking your Bitcoin, got you out working.
So do you ever have the title, or you just have a vehicle that's not registered?
You have to ask for the title. You have to ask for the manufacturing title, and that's actually dealership. You don't go register at the state, because once you register it to the state, you're giving it back to the state. You actually donate it. And then you're paying the registration fee, and they're going to tell you, listen, I need you to get our car registered. I need you to get us some insurance on our car. I need you to make sure you keep it up and keep some payments up, or you're going to have my cousin on the other side of town come and get it.
Okay, so what happens if you're in an accident? If you're in an accident, you don't.
No, if you do a 1099A, it's the same thing. You do a 1099A on your insurance. You pick whatever insurance carrier you want and you 1099 it.
Okay. All right. We're going to end it right there, dear sister. I got to get up and go to court tomorrow. Listen, I appreciate you. Maybe we can come back again with more of this conversation, more questions.
I enjoyed this.
Yeah, I enjoyed it too, listening to it. There's some things that I knew already, but I was just asking questions. You know, it's always like that. People, I know we didn't get a chance to talk about how can we avoid crime, but it is what it is. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. This is live, uncut, unedited, and it's 12:51, and a lot of us got to get up in the morning. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. It's a late show, so put your phone on mute. Put your phone on mute.
Okay.
Yeah. This is a late show, so I want to thank all the people that came in and talked and asked questions and things like that. I'm quite sure we all learned some things. We heard some things that we've never heard before. So we probably have to put them to the test and see if they work. You know, so I was confused on some things, still confused, but hey, it is what it is. And I'm going to go back and just like re-listen to some of this that our dear sister gave us and all that. So, you know, a lot of things, she definitely was on point. Some things I really don't know. I'm not sure. So I have to kind of do a little investigation on that. So it is what it is.
When you're going,
go ahead, sister.
Yeah, when you go in that venue, your arguments or your counters are language of the bank. You at the bank counter. They trying to handle you as you a dollar. So you just letting them know ain't no dollar. You handing them the correct documents and speaking the right language. That's all it is.
Yeah, but there's only one thing
So
to
yeah.
be honest with you. It's only one thing I don't like. What you have done you're doing now, living in someone's property and not paying them. Purposely, and because you know the law.
No, 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 no,
Say,
no, no, no.
I
No,
don't
I
like that.
read. I read. You cannot get mad at someone who reads. That's just like how somebody gonna get upset because KS accepts certain students because of their GPA. They just accept a certain level of GPA. Well, then what you got to do to qualify for that? You have to study.
So,
So
but
don't keep. That's like the crab in the bucket.
well,
Oh,
it's not a
keep
crap in
on
the.
work. Get
But
on back
you
down
don't
here to the
see
ground.
you don't see nothing wrong with that living
Now,
in
let
someone
me
else's
tell you
property
something
and
about
not paying them.
IRS.
Come on
They're
now,
not gonna
sister.
answer no questions. Look, I'm gonna be paying this. I'm gonna ask IRS. Let me tell you something. The IRS is not going to tell you anything because their job is not to give legal advice. If you don't call them in, you don't know what you're talking about, having your ass dotted and your T's crossed, they're not going to assist you. So you have to know. It's not ask the IRS. You can ask them. Go ahead, but they're not going to tell you.
Well, I'm just saying.
We're grown. Nobody's going to hold up.
Hold on. Morally speaking, and you said you're a good citizen, you civilized and all that. A civilized person will, and they know if they're living in someone else's property. Now, if I come in your house right now, where you living in, and take claim of your front room, what you gonna do? You gonna probably shoot me and shoot me. You know
Listen,
that. Come on now,
first of all,
sister.
you a man. You're not gonna do that. You're not gonna do that.
No, I'm just saying. We just
First
hypothetic
of all, you're not
speaking.
gonna do that.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. I'm gonna just say this. I'm gonna say this. When you own something, you ain't gotta go ask another grown man or woman for permission to make that person get out. You don't do that. Owners don't do that. Y'all don't pay attention. Y'all grown folks walking around with permission slips thinking because y'all obeying, y'all doing the right thing. Sometimes, like they say, Harriet Tubman said it though, hardest thing is to make a slave, pull a slave out of slavery, and he don't know he's slave. Something like that. The slaves get it. They know what I'm talking about. So, because I'm reading the comments. So listen, let me explain something to you. Don't get mad at a student because they start elevating and they get out of special education. And now they ain't got to sit in a little box no more. That's the crab in the bucket mentality. Listen, I'm not riding with these ghetto black folks. They can stay in the hood all day long. I'm bringing my head up out of that ghetto mentality.
Okay, well.
You understand me? Just because the sheep all go in one direction, you don't make them right. It don't make them right. Let me tell you something. All you got to do in front of a lot of big, wild black folks is send a mob of police. Watch them slaves behave. As soon as them police go away, watch them act like wild animals on each other. Ain't no people scared to talk to black folks because they wild. It uncivilized.
Well, hold on, sister. Hold on. It's like
I'm reading these comments. I'm talking to the ones. Put your shoe on it. The shoe fit. Put it on the wheel. Because see, they need to hear the truth. See, ignorance is accepted. That's the end thing. These folks and some of these grown folks need to grow up. Get out of these kids' lane and grow up. That's why the kids think it's cool.
Well, I tell you what.
You see these grown women hanging out. Grown men hanging out. Grow up.
This is what I'm gonna do, my dear sister. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have part 2 to this, and I'm gonna allow you to call in tomorrow. We'll set up a time, and where we can part 2 of what we talked about today, because I really need to get to bed. I really do, because I got a long journey. I got to pick up some people, take them to court tomorrow. So I want to hear you, and you get a chance to address some of these questions. These statements that they made in the feedback, in the comment section. Is that cool?
Okay.
We got a deal?
Tell them put their boxing gloves on because I'm going hard on them, and I ain't holding no bars.
Okay, well.
I ain't going to have no love
for them. We're going to, can we do?
With my intelligence, I'm going below the belt. Like your show says, it's uncut. I'm going uncut.
All right, now don't get uncivilized now. That's all you say. All right.
Oh, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Listen, they so ignorant, they ain't gonna understand none of the words that's gonna come up out my mouth. I'm going all the way. I'm going to the source on them tomorrow. I'm going to Black Laws Dictionary on them. I'm not gonna play with them.
Okay. Well, I tell you what.
I'm tired of black folks and they ignorant. I ain't the one. They met the right one. I'm the one.
All right. Well,
bring your mama, bring your grandma, bring your auntie, bring your uncle, bring your brother, bring everybody.
Well,
it's gonna be a family show.
Let me say, dear
sister,
family
reunion tomorrow.
Dear sister, okay. Well, we're gonna go live tomorrow. I don't know exact what time. Probably around, 8 or 9 or something like that. But we're gonna come on. I'm gonna be waiting on you. I'll call you. I got your number. I'll call you. Let you. Hey, we on.
I'm ready.
Okay. Good night. Good night, everybody. Okay, this is live, uncut, unedited. She has agreed that she's going to come back tomorrow.
Good night.
Good night. Listen,
get your Z's in because you're going to need all your breath tomorrow. So get a good night's sleep, all y'all, the ones that left this smart comment. Because I want you to come suited and booted tomorrow, baby.
Okay. All right. What we going to do? All right, people. Good night. I'm finna end this live stream. Live, uncut, unedited. See you guys tomorrow.